knowledge, and man, it's going to be incredible how much you know, and it's going to start clicking in a new job. But boy, don't lose sight. Don't become that arrogant person that nobody wants on their shift or on their job, or they cringe when they see you walk out in the plant. Or, the whistles start, or the lights go off, or the radio traffic. Oh man, Baker's on the floor. Baker's on the floor. You don't want that. It's not going to work. Let me tell you, connecting requires a lot of effort and energy. So at my level now as a VP of HSE, I bet you I spend 60% of my time, total time, on the road, maybe 70%. And the whole thing I do, I don't really go out and do safety inspections. I don't do any of that stuff. What I do is I put a lot of effort and energy trying to connect with our employees, trying to understand what their concerns are, and then coming up with plans to follow through. Show them that I hear what they're saying and that I take it as very important, and I'm going to go and take care of it, if I can. So that's something you have to learn. When you're connecting with people, you got to be sincere. You have to find common ground. I'm a big NASCAR fanatic, and yes, I have most of my team. And my wife is from Dallas, Texas, a very nice place in Dallas, Texas called Highland Park. My wife is very, I don't know, she's just a sweet girl. I don't know how she got hooked up with me. But you would never think, about 8 years ago, we ended up taking her sister to a NASCAR race in Fort Worth. And my wife, man, she was kicking and screaming the whole time. First time the cars came around, she became a big NASCAR fanatic. Long story short, we have season tickets for our 7th year this year, and we have a camping spot, and all that kind of stuff. Not in the wild area. I'm in the spot where everybody goes to bed at 9 o'clock. And if they're not in bed at 9 o'clock, they hear it from me. All right? So, believe me. And here's what's cool. I'm going to digress a little bit. But I work for Goodyear, right? So the cool thing is working for Goodyear, I kind of got connections with the NASCAR racing side of things because Goodyear makes the tires for NASCAR. So I got, for the last 6-7 years, or yeah, probably that long, about 5 years, I've had what's called hot passes, so I can go pretty much anywhere that a team member goes, I go. And so the thing that I've always said to people, even including the NASCAR people, as a safety professional, the one thing that I want to accomplish in life, my bucket list is to get in a NASCAR and drive it, not on the Kyle Petty thing where they hold me back at 150 miles an hour. I want the real thing, and I'm going to do some safety research. So in NASCAR, we always go left, right? You got to turn left. If you turn right, it's usually a bad thing unless you're on a road course. Well, here's my deal. As a safety professional, I want to hit turn 1 going 180 miles an hour, and I want to take a sharp right into the wall. And I want to check how everything works. Hans device, is the car built well, those kind of, can they use the jaws of life to get me out? Those kind of, can the helicopter get me to a level 1 trauma center within 45 minutes?
So it can be Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, but, yes. No, I don't want to be Dale Earnhardt, but I want to check it out. So if you hear the news about some idiot that, stole a NASCAR to race sometime, probably me. So, anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Keep it simple. As safety professionals, we are very technical in what we do a lot of time. But keep it simple with people. They don't care about 1910 152. They don't care. You know what I tell my safety professionals? Every safety professional that's ever worked for me, and those that weren't professional, everybody that's ever worked for me, I've told them, I don't want to hear you ever tell anybody that OSHA says this. OSHA says we have to do this. I never want to hear it out of your mouth. They don't care. What they want to hear is, hey, we need to do this because. And I also tell young safety professionals, you went to school to learn the black and white, at least I did. And I can tell you OSU did a fantastic job of teaching me the black and white of safety. And I'm sure every other program does the same thing. But you know what's going to make you different than anybody else, those 300 plus applicants that are applying for that job, is if you can manage the gray. Can you manage the gray in between that black and white? Can you take a situation and be able to clearly and simply explain that to whoever it is you're explaining and get them to buy in on it? Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen is you're going to have to manage that gray. You're going to have to learn to take lockout, tag out, and learn how to apply lockout, tag out into any given situation. And think outside the box. Think about ways you can do it to meet the intent of the law, of the regulation, but to also help that group achieve whatever it is they're going to achieve. It's a big deal. Why are relationships important? Here's what I think. Relationships are what the glue that holds people together. It's how we interact. It's what human nature is. It's what the humankind is. It's about, people getting together. Even the loneliest people on the earth have relationships. You gotta build the relationships. You gotta build it because it builds trust and respect. You're gonna find an influence that you can't influence anybody unless they trust you. I don't care what your position is or who you are. They're not going to trust anything you say or want to do unless you're not going to influence them to do it unless they trust you on what you need to do. Be sincere in your conversations and know who you're talking to. I can have a conversation with our parts guy and I can have a conversation with our CEO all in the same time. And be able to relate whatever we're talking about to those two groups. You've got to learn that. And I've said it before, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And then encourage them. I encourage everybody. As I was walking the kid out today, out the front door at 8:10 this morning, I encouraged him to find another job. I think he got it. But you got to encourage people, man. They got to know that you care about them and you got to encourage them to be better. I've learned that over time, that if I encourage people, then they're going to respect me. And if they respect me, then they're going to trust me. And I'm telling you now, if I can get them to trust me, I can influence them in anything I want to do. Anybody watch Breaking Bad? And you don't know how many times I watched that and thought, $80 million? I can influence people. Cook for me. The only thing is, when I think that, then the prison cells come slide, doors slide, and I can hear it go, shh. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Never mind. Connect with people. Always remember the heart comes before the head. And I'll tell you, if you think about this, if we think about what they're going through, if you go up to a guy that's been working 12 hours in the sun, and he's hot, and he's not wearing his FRC's not always zipped up, that's all right. Remember what he's gone through today. You might have a conversation with him later on. I have gotten very good about coming back and saying, you know what, Bill, hey, just and we're just talking on our own here, and I'll say, hey, Bill, just so you know our policy is your sleeves have to be rolled down, and you have to have your FRC all the way zipped up. Man, flash fire, all that sexy hair you have on your chest is gone. So that gold chain will probably be melted too. Be a good listener. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But listening is huge. My wife tells me all the time, you tell people to be a good listener, but you didn't hear a word I said. I've been married 27 years, almost 28 now. And you know what? She's right. I got other things on my mind, man. What you did today and how many loads of laundry you did doesn't really bother me. You know, you're going to have more tomorrow too, because I'm about to put these dirty underwear on. Oh boy. I'm glad she's not here. Please don't call. Please.
That's Dennis I remember.
Yeah.
That's on video.
You know what? Build trust. When your words and actions match, then people start trusting you. So that's how we do it. And be consistent. Wow. You can't be Mr. Super Leadership Guy, I care about you today, and tomorrow come in a bad mood and